What is up, all of you awesome people? It's TheMunchBowl here, and today I'm gonna be teaching all of you how to get dreadlocks from braids. Stay tuned. Alright, so video 3. So first off, I just want to say sorry for the lack of uploads. Even though it wasn't that big of a lack of upload, I just missed, Monday. But I have a life, other than YouTube and all that stuff. I try not to pressure myself too much to make videos, but at the same time, I really like making videos. And I know a lot of these videos help people. So with all that being said, I'm gonna be teaching all of you how to get braidlocs. Now, some of you might be wondering, what are braidlocs? It really is what it really says it is, It's braid locks. Well, technically, is braids that turn into dreadlocks. Now, to be honest, I didn't know this was a method, like a lot of the methods, because throughout time when I was getting my dreadlocks and all this stuff, I watched a lot of videos, did a lot of research on my dreads and all that stuff, and that's how I know so much about dreads, and I can actually make videos to help you all out. But how do you get braidlocks? So as you see, this is a braid. Don't ask me why I have a random braid laying around. But basically, when you start out braids, obviously you start out with sections. That's how most people start out braids. They section their hair out and then, they braid it up. And of course, there's different size braids. There's skinny, really skinny braids, medium sized braids, and, really thick braids like this. But if you don't know, over time, that can lock up into dreadlocks. Is it really as simple as it sounds? It really is as simple as it sounds. All you do is, you section out your hair, you braid it up, and then boom, you're pretty much done. Over time, you just let it lock up. Now, how long will it take to lock up? It can take a little while, especially since it's braids. It isn't regular hair locking up into each other, it's already braided up. And when it's braided up, the hair can't pull into each other and lock up as easily. So as you see, and as you will see with a lot of people who have braid locks, their hair or their dreads will still look like braids for a really long time. And once they start getting frizzy, then that's how you know that they're actually going to start locking up, because technically the braids have to unravel a little bit for them to actually lock up, because when they're pulled so tight together, they can't lock up. Just how straight hair is very difficult to naturally lock up. Your hair is almost pulled straight, because it's as stretched as long as possible when it's braided, so it has to kind of unravel just a little bit for it to lock up, which that will happen naturally just by having the braids in. But another thing to know, whatever size your braids are, that's the size your dreadlocks are going to be. With braidlocks, the thickness and thinness is pretty much set. It isn't going to get much thicker or much thinner than what it already is. But like I said, one thing to note with braidlocks, they will look like braids for a very long time. But the great thing about it is, if you like the way braids look but also like dreadlocks, it's kind of a merging between the two. Because kind of, to me, I wouldn't really consider braidlocks dreadlocks until they actually start looking like dreadlocks, and the whole, I guess what I'll call braid pattern isn't there anymore. Because when the braid pattern is there, it just looks like a braid, but once it's all the way locked up, then it actually looks like an actual dreadlock. But if you like the way the braid pattern looks, then that's good for you, and this would be a good method if you want dreadlocks but you also like the way braids look and you really like braids. But one thing to know is you have to start out with a good length of hair, about 4 inches at least. And for some reason, I see mostly women have braid locks, so I don't know if that's just a woman thing. I don't know, I thought men got it too. I don't really know. But one thing you can do to speed up the locking up process and to actually get rid of that braid looking pattern faster is using a crochet hook, and that will ensure that it first off locks up faster, but also it rounds out and actually starts looking more and more like an actual dreadlock instead of braids. But pretty much that's all you really need to know on how to actually get them. But how to maintain them is a whole nother story. Some people, not all people, because some people's hair, it will actually start puffing up and it won't actually have those 3 strands anymore, just be one. But for some people, there will probably be like 3 strands growing out of their scalp, and it's like 3 individual strands, and it's not like all together, just like normal new growth. But to fix that, all you would need to do is, if you want maintain dreads, then you want to twist it up with gel or something, or with water. Or if it gets long enough, say you have like 4 inches of new growth, you can actually grab a crochet needle again and lock up that new growth. And by the way, the new growth will actually look like dreads, so, which now that I remember, I actually think I went to school with somebody who had braid locks and his hair looked really cool, because at about the first 4 inches it was a braid, but the rest of it was just straight up, it just looked like a regular dread, which it gives your hair a really cool looking style, because it's almost like half and half braids and half dreadlocks. And as far as washing your hair goes, I would say wait about a week until you wash your hair, but it's already like compacted together enough so it shouldn't unravel too much when you wash it. And I recommend how often you wash it. I recommend that you wash it probably like at least once a week, especially with, you know, your hair already being together. It's not going to unravel as fast as, you know, other methods. So I'll say wash it at least once a week, but go up to maybe at most 2 times a week if you feel comfortable with it. But any more than 2 times a week is really just washing your hair too much. And yeah, I pretty much think that's all you really need to know about, you know, braidlocs. They're really simple to get. It takes a little bit for them to lock up since they are braids, but if you really just want that unique look at the tip of your dreads, to where some of your dread looks like a braid but the rest of it looks like an actual dreadlock, then this is a great method for you. It takes a little while, but it is a good investment if you actually want that look, and it's something that I don't see many people have. So if you want this, then go ahead and get it. But also research the other dreadlock methods to see if you want other dreadlock methods, because although this method is really cool, me personally, I wouldn't get it. I like the way it looks and all that stuff, but I just simply like other methods better. So that's why I recommend that all you research different dreadlock methods, just so you don't just go with one because you think it's cool, but then you see another one along the road and you think it's way better and like, oh, I should have started my dreads like that. So yeah, just take all of that stuff into consideration. And also for another unique look, this is almost like the 2-strand twist method or the twist out method, and it's when you unbraid the braid and there's just, you know, the 3 strands hanging. You could just wash your hair from there and twist those individual strands up like their dreadlocks to also get dreadlocks, and those will give you a more skinny type dreadlocks. But anyways, that's really all I have to say about this method. If this video helped you out, or if you liked it, please make sure I like it. If you want to see more videos from me in the future, please make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you'll never miss out on another video from me in the future. And with that being said, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video.